Hi, soul, being absolutely beautiful every time. This is your host, Ree Venus. And I apologize in advance if the volume sucks because, well, this is where I'm at. But I wanted to talk real quick about your heart posture. Your heart posture is all about whether your heart is open or it's closed. So a lot of us are creating our life from a closed heart because we are disconnected um, from other souls. We're disconnected from our own soul, and we're disconnected from other people's souls. And when you are not experiencing joy as your natural state of being, if you're not carefree and I'm not taking life seriously, where you're staying light, where you're not holding grudges, where you're not taking how other people show up personally, but you're just so carefree, you're like so detached because you're just enjoying your life so much, you're so immersed in your own fullness and your own wholeness. When you are emotionally distanced from other people, and you're not trusting other people, you're having a hard time being vulnerable to other people, because I mean, vulnerability, that's where true connection is. That's where you actually feel seen and actually feel heard. When you're not creating that safe space for your heart, when you're not actually listening to your heart and you've closed it for whatever reasons, usually trauma, usually because when we were vulnerable, um, the people we loved the most and we trusted the most um, took advantage of that. They didn't make us feel safe. And when you live from that wounding and you start creating your future life, your dream life from that state of being, and you don't actually heal that wound and you don't actually integrate the lessons that that person taught you, maybe that you had poor boundaries, maybe on discernment, maybe on um, something they were pointing back within you, right? It's usually the bad lessons that actually have the wisdom. It's not the good lessons. Um, that the depth of lesson is not the same as the negative ones. Um, but where was I going with this? When you don't heal, when you don't bring full circle all the ways that other people did you wrong, and then you close your heart, and then you're just focused on the human aspect of yourself, and you're disconnecting from your spirit, from your soul, your heart posture is bent, right? So, for example, this is how we have in the US, we got health care systems where people are more concerned about getting richer than um, putting people first, people's health first. The companies are denying, the insurance companies are denying claims. I read a comment somewhere where a company said the insurance claim only allowed to pay for 1 hour of the surgery, and once the hour is gone, they would have to take the equipment out, even if the person was still having surgery, because that's the only thing they're willing to pay for. And they're cutting down expenses because they want to make themselves richer. It's all about money. It's not about caring, genuinely caring for humanity, genuinely caring for people, right? So when you find yourself going into work, into a job just so that you can make money and there's no heart in it, or you're having friends who only care about how it looks, about the status, about power dynamics. There's no heart in it, right? Or you're marrying somebody, you're dating somebody purely only for money. You don't care how they get the money, as long as they have money and they're willing to give it to you. There's no, there's a poor heart posture because you're not including other important things, like how does he treat him or her, how do they treat their loved ones, how do they treat people around them, how do they treat their employees, what kind of character do they have, what value do you want to be around that person, are they going to make your life easier, really, are they going to make your spirit, are they going to pour into your spirit, are they going to pour um into your loved one's spirit, or are they going to suck life out of it? There's none of that, because when you have a poor heart posture, you don't see the bigger picture. You only focused on the now, or you're creating, you're desiring from your wounds instead of desiring from um, the posture that's upright, the posture where you're integrated, the posture where you see the fuller picture, where you're whole, where you're not fragmented. So I want you to think about that, like which aspects of my life am I creating from my wounding? What inner dialogues am I creating from my inner wounding? Because that tells you um, a lot about what your real needs are. Because I mean, society tells us with social media, our needs are projected onto us, but those needs are just because it's like a carrot that dangles you. They dangle a carrot in front of you so that um, as bait, so that they use your energy to progress society. And we need that. We need continuously to evolve, and it's part of our nature. But it's when people manipulate you out of your sovereignty, out of your free will, when it's actually not you, out of your sovereignty, out of your free will, when it's actually not okay, right? So we need more people coming back into their sovereignty, coming back to actually heal themselves, come within themselves, and actually correct their heart posture so that they're not a victim of manipulation by other people. They're not a victim of cycles of hurt from their families, from that's or whatever is being projected by programmings, by the environment. That there's more. Take this as your proof. Correct, genuinely feeling, and connect to that. If you start actually anchoring your being into the present moment and actually valuing every person, right? Your spirit never dies, your body dies, but your spirit doesn't. It keeps going on and on and on and on into eternity. But when we're disconnected from that, you're stuck in that with your spirit, and you anchor your being in there.